Hey everybody, Michael here from GetFitOver40.com. Got the right shirt on again today. I seem to be wearing the right shirts all the time. All right, I believe it's 12 days out. If not, you'll notice the name of the title of this video will be the days out that it actually is. Kind of low on carbs. Just started my carb cutting yesterday, so it's starting to affect me a little quicker than usual. Basically what I want to talk about in this video is kind of the food prep for the contest. So kind of like basically when you're about 2 weeks out, at least for me it's 2 weeks out, what I kind of do in terms of food prep, how it affects me. You know, this is just my own personal experience. You know, I'm not one to say just do what everybody else says to do, but in terms of prepping for contests and managing food and all those things, you know, I haven't done a lot of these. I've only really done a few contests, so I kind of have to go with what the general consensus is until I work it out for myself and figure out what works for me. And I am still tweaking it a little bit each time. I make little tiny changes to try to improve my results. But in a nutshell, and I'm not an expert on this, I'm not you know, a food expert or body expert or macro expert or any of that, but kind of what you do when you're cutting for contests or getting ready for that last couple weeks is you minimize your carbs. Like, you really cut your carbs out of your diet. And I believe it's for two reasons. It's a good way to lose weight, like to burn fat, because it puts you in a state of ketosis, especially if you keep your carbs really, really low. You're not eating carbs, so your body has to burn fat, right? And, you know, if you're eating just basically fish and veggies and chicken and veggies, you're only really going to get maybe 1,600 calories a day. And if you're working out and doing other stuff, you're probably burning 3,500 calories a day. You're at a deficit close to 2,000 calories, and you're going to burn fat. You know, you're going to burn off that last little bit of fat really quickly. So that's one of the reasons. The other reason is you want to deplete your glycogens in your body. You want to get rid of the glycogens in your muscles and stuff. Get rid of all that kind of stuff as much as possible, so that when you load back up for the show, you kind of overfill a little bit. It's kind of like the whole, I guess, when people want a water cut, you take in a bunch of water and then you cut the water so that you're basically, your body is flushing, kind of the opposite of that. Now, speaking of water, I will be drinking quite a bit of water the week before, but I'm not going to cut my water very much. I'm going to drink if I'm thirsty. I'm not going to, you know, I don't want to come in bloated or really full of water, but I will, you know, this time around, I'm going to have water. I'm going to have a little bit to drink before I go to bed the night before. I'm going to have a little something in the morning. If I'm thirsty, I'm going to drink, but I'm going to make sure I'm not, you know, retaining water, okay? Because you want water in your muscles, you want water in your body, because if you don't have the water in your muscles in your body, then you're going to come in flat, you're going to come in not full. So, you know, yes, your skin may look thinner, but your body's not going to be, it's not going to have that 3D full effect. So, you know, you really have to play around with that and figure out how it works for you. In terms of cutting the carbs, you will lose your water for a couple reasons when you first start cutting your carbs. Like, I started cutting yesterday. Yesterday I weighed about 192 point something pounds. Today I weighed 188 point something pounds. I lost basically 4 pounds overnight. Most of it through urination, because my food is cleaner because I'm on this very strict diet, so I'm probably getting less salt. And also, just the fact that I'm not having carbs, your body isn't going to hold on to water as much. Again, it's going to sort of flush the waters. It's going to flush the glycogens get used up from your workouts. You just kind of lose size and weight. It just happens. You lose fullness. You lose vascularity, right? It's a short-term thing that happens. By the way, I did record some of my workout for you guys. I'm not sure if I'm going to superimpose it over top of the video while I'm speaking, or if I'll put it at the end. But if you see the video while I'm speaking, then it won't be at the end. If you don't see the video while I'm speaking, then it will be at the end. I just basically filmed some squats, strict barbell squats, going full depth, you know, like parallel at least, maybe a little under. And basically, I'm not going heavy with my squats. I don't want to rip up my legs. I have problems with ripping my quads if I go too heavy on the rebound. So I'll usually only go up to 225, but I'll do higher reps. So my rep scheme was basically 6 sets, started out, worked up to 225 for 4 sets of 15, but on the last set I did 20. So 3 sets of 15, and the last set was 20 reps. And they're all clean reps. You know, I do take little tiny pauses between my 10th and sometimes my 15th rep, just because Squats are tiring, especially right now with these low carbs going on. So that workout was basically squats. I did some barbell flies, but I don't show that. I did some tricep exercise and some abs, and basically I burned about close to almost 1,200 calories, 1,100 to 1,200 calories. It was almost an hour and a half workout. I really only did 4 exercises, but lots of reps, lots of sets. What else can I talk to you guys about in terms of the whole cutting and food prep and all that stuff? You know what I generally eat, and sometimes, and I have made videos of what I eat when I'm prepping for this last 2 weeks, is just basically mainly fish and veggies, right? You know, basically you want veggies that aren't high in any type of simple carb. It's okay if there's some complex carbs in them, but you want to keep the simple carbs really down. You want to keep your fats low. You want to keep your protein super high. This morning, instead of cooking my eggs and making like a sort of an omelette-y type thing or scrambled egg thing and putting some onions and garlic and mushrooms in it, I just used the eggs white straight in my blender, put half of one of those 500 mils, so a cup of egg white, a cup of frozen strawberries, and then I do want to talk about something cool here. Then I had, these things are my savior, and then I added basically some of this chocolate syrup to flavor it, to sweeten it a little bit. And this is a sugar-free, fat-free, gluten-free chocolate syrup, calorie-free chocolate syrup, no calories. So I can put this in my coffee and make it like a little mocha in my espresso. I can sweeten up some of my protein shakes, especially if I'm not using protein powders. Like I'm not using protein powders right now. I'm just using the egg whites. Again, some strawberries, because you know we got to have a little bit of fiber, a little bit of more complex carbs in there. And not a lot though. I mean, it's like 50 calories of strawberries. It's not much. It's a cup. Same company makes these salad dressings, and they've got all kinds of different ones. They've got this is Thousand Islands, but they've got like ranch. They've got Italian. They've got a whole bunch. 0 calories, 0 sugars, 0 fats. Really cool. And they've also got, this is really awesome, a barbecue sauce. They also have a ketchup, and it's smoked hickory fume, really tasty. Again, it's got no sugar, no fat, none of that stuff. Same with their ketchup. And the company is called Walden Farms. So you take a look at that. And this is really helping me. I also use like sriracha sauces that have 0 calories, you know, use mustard, things like that. So the name of the game is to try to get your food flavored with other things, onions, cilantro, these 0 calorie things. Just try and make your food interesting, because it's kind of repetitive, right? Now, the nice thing is it's only really a couple weeks. The last 2 days of my workouts, I've progressively overloaded. Now, it's been hard. Today's workout was super hard. I had to take my time, and I was tired. I almost felt like I was going to pass out a couple times, but I progressively overloaded yet again and got more volume in for the exercises I was doing. So that's a very positive thing. That means if I'm doing more volume and more weight, then that means I'm retaining my muscle, maybe even gaining some still. Next week will be a different story. This week I'm trying to do as much volume as possible and just keep the machine going. Next week will be more of a just, you know, get my last kind of workouts in, go through the motions, be really low on energy next week. I'll be really low in body fat, and I don't want to get injured or anything, so I'll just be doing higher volume. I'll be doing maybe one big leg workout on Monday, and then I'll be doing maybe 2 to 3 upper body workouts, hit a few things, and then I'll be shutting her down. Probably Thursday will be maybe my last workout. And that's it. I think that's covered enough for today. Again, I'm not an expert on this whole manipulation of food. You know, some people say you should water cut. Some people say you shouldn't. I mean, it used to be old school that you water cut at the end, but then you can lose size and fullness, right? So I'm going to try it a little different this time. I'm not going to cut much water. It's not that I cut a lot of water in the past, but I did try cutting some of my water. This time I'm just going to try to kind of like keep it neutral. And we'll see how it goes. I'm going to start loading my carbs in a little earlier this time. I'm going to throw a little bit of salt into my diet right on the last little bit just before contest, get some blood pressure up, get some vascularity back, get some water into the muscles, all that kind of stuff. So that's it. Thanks for watching another GetFitOver40.com video. Don't forget to subscribe. Check me out on Facebook and Twitter. Until next time, take care.